Hello everyone, welcome to PW OnlyIAS. I hope all of you are doing great. So from today onwards, we are starting the free initiative in which we will be discussing one previous year paper, full length paper every Sunday, right? Starting from today, where we will discuss the paper from 2021, right? So now this series is for those who have already prepared for CSAT and now they want to test where they stand, right? So what is the best method to use this series? First of all, take a printout of the paper or you can download the paper on your tab, right? And solve along with me, right? How will I proceed through the paper? I will try to find for the first 2 hours, I will try to find the most easy questions or moderate questions to solve. We'll try to reach at least 50-55 questions in the first 2 hours, and then I will solve all the moderate to difficult questions in the end. So how to use this video? You should download the paper, solve along with me, and whenever I am starting to solve a question, you should pause the video, solve the question yourself, and then check if you are able to solve the problem correctly or not, right? So we'll start with the paper from 2021. So 2021 was on the easier side, right? And quant and reasoning were easy, and there were few good questions from reading comprehension. So I will also tell you how to proceed through the paper, which questions to leave and which questions to start the paper with, right? So let's start with the paper. Okay. So initially, if you get these types of questions, reading comprehension, right? So reading comprehension will take time, right? So to start the paper, what you can do is first search for questions, easy questions from reasoning and quant, right? So we'll skip these reading comprehension and get to reasoning and quant. Now the question number 5 is one of the easy questions. How? So if 3 to the power 2019 is divided by 10, then what is the remainder? Now this is a unit digits question. Whenever such number is divided by 10, the answer for this remainder is nothing but the units digit. So what we have to find is unit digit. We have to find the unit digit of 3 to the power 2019. Now, all of you must know that we have to just find the remainder when the power 2019 is divided by 4. When 2019 is divided by 4, the remainder is 3. So this problem becomes unit digit of 3 to the power 3, which is nothing but 27, right? So the unit digit of the whole thing, 3 to the power 2019, is nothing but 7. Now this is a very easy question. You should start the paper with such type of question which you have already solved. These types of questions come every year, right? So you know how to solve these before going to the paper. So you should search for such types of question to start the paper with, right? So we have solved question number 5. The answer is option C, unit digit is 7. Now the second question, question number 6, is the number 3798 such is divisible by 7. What is the value of P, right? So now you should know what is the divisibility rule of 7, right? So in divisibility rule of 7, we have to form triplets: 369, 2P5, 981 and 37. So now we have to take alternate triplets, and suppose here 981 and 369 an alternate, we need to add these, and then we have to subtract 125p and 37. This will lead you to 1313 minus 25p. Now this number should be divisible by 7. Now if this number should be divisible by 7, both these numbers should be divisible by 7, or both of these will have to have the same remainder, right? This is the trick. Whenever you have two expressions and you want them to be divided by a common number, either both the numbers should be divisible by the given number, in this case 7, or both the numbers should leave the same remainder, right? So when 1330 is divided by 7, the remainder is 4. Similarly, when you will divide, remainder of 25p by 7 should be 4. For this to happen, the only number p can have is 6. When the number is p is 6, the number becomes 256. Now 256 divided by 7 leaves you 7 3 is 21, 46 is remaining, 7 6 is 42. So the remainder will be 4. So the value of p is nothing but 6, right? In this question, the value of p is nothing but 6. Okay, the answer is 6. Now, some of you can attempt this question, some of you can skip this question. How? Some of you will remember what is the divisibility rule of 7, so you can attempt this question. Some of you who do not know what is the divisibility rule of 7 can skip it in the first instance, and then you can revisit the question if you remember what is the divisibility rule, right? So remember, going ahead, if there are two numbers, in this case 1330 minus 25p, right? So both of these should be divisible by 7 for the whole thing to be divisible by 7, or the remainder should be same, right? In that case only these numbers will be divisible by 7, right? So both of these questions were easy. Now let's move to the seventh question. So if you read from January 1, 2021, the price of petrol on mth day of the year is given as this, right? So it will increase from 1, 2, 3 up to 100, and after that remains constant, right? So if you see, all the dates in the options are given as 21st May, 20th May, 19th May and 18th May. January 1st to 20th May, 21st May, 19th May or 18th May are already above 100 days, right? So January has 31, February has 28, right? Again then March has 31, right? So when you go from January, February, March, April, you are already above 100, right? So in this case, m will be something above 100. So the first expression will become, the first expression, value of the first expression will be nothing but 80 plus 0.1 into 100. And this will be nothing but 80 plus 10, right? This will be 90. So this is constant after 100. So the value will be 90. The other expression, on the other hand, the price of diesel in rupees on nth day of 2021 is 69 plus 0.15 n for any value of n. On which date in the year 21 are the price of the two fuels same? So here what we need to do is, we need to equate this 90 to nothing but 69 plus 0.15 n. When you subtract 69 from 90, it is 21, and this is nothing but 50 by 100 into n. N is nothing but 2100 by 15, right? If you divide by 3, this is 5, right? And this is 700. From here we will get n equals to 140 days, right? 140 days. So what date it will be on? So January has 31 days, February has 28 days, March has 31, and April has 30, right? So this is nothing but 120 days. We in total want 140 days, right? So remaining days are 140 minus 120 is 20. So the date will be nothing but 20th May. On 20th May, both the prices will be same, right? So all these questions are on the easier side, because in the first question it was asking you the unit digit, in the second question simple divisibility rule, and in the third question they have given you two equations and you have to equate those two equations only, right? So there are these three very easy questions. Now look at question number 8, a very easy question again, right? So in question number 8 now, this may seem difficult in the first instance, but this is a very easy question, right? I will tell you how to solve such questions by options. So a biology class at high school predicted that a local population of animals will double in size every 12 years. That means if the population today is 100, it will double to 200 in 12 years. In the first instance, it is given that in 2021, there were 50 animals, right? So after 12 years, the population will be how much? 100. Double of 50, initial 50, it will double to 100. Now, when putting n equals to 12, you should get the value as 100. Now, in all the options, if you put 12, right, in the option A, P equals to 12 plus 50 into 12, this won't give you 100. So this can't be the answer. Second, P equals to 50 plus 12, and again, it will not give you 100. In this case, 50 into 2 to the power 144. Again, this is not 100. Only P equals to 50 into 2 to the power n by 12. When you put n equals to 12 here, 12 by 12 is 1. 50 into 2 is 100. So you will get 100 only in case of option D. So such questions you need not prove right? You don't have to find the equation. What you have to do is just check, right? So the question is telling you the population will become twice in 12 years. So what you need to do is, in place of n, just place 12 and check if you are getting 100 in any of the options. Suppose you are getting 100 in two of the options, then move to 24, right? Then the option should give you 200 as the population. So here the question directly gives you 100 only in the case of option D. So the answer for this question is option D, right? So this is also very easy question. I told you the reasoning in quant section in 2021 was on the easier side. Now next question is also easy, right? Let's see. In a class, 60% of the students are from India, right? So suppose when all the data is in percentage, right, in the question itself and in the answer, what you can do is you can directly assume 100. Again, listen very carefully. Whenever the data in the question and the options are in percentages, you can directly assume 100. When there is certain value, suppose the population of a country in 2021 is 33, yeah, 33 lakh, right? Exact value, then the assumption should be 100x. In this case, what you can assume is 100. So let the total population be 100. Out of these 100, 60% students are from India. So 60% are from India. Okay? And 40 are from foreign, I guess. Okay? Right? Also, another distribution given to you is 30% of the Indian students are girls. 50% of the students are girls. So 50 are girls and 50 are boys. Of the 60 Indian, 30% of Indian students are girls. So 30% of this is 30% of 60 is nothing but 30 by 100 into 60, which is 18. So 18 girls in India, and 60 minus 18 will give you 42 boys. In total, how many girls are there? 50, 18 are here. So from the foreign student, 32 are girls and 8 are boys. So this is the complete distribution where you have found out how many girls are there, how many boys are there. Out of 60 people in India, how many girls are there, how many boys are there. Now they are asking you percentage of foreign students who are boys. So percentage of foreign students who are boys who are foreign upon total foreign into 100%. This is nothing but 8 upon 40 into 100%. This is nothing but 20%. So 20% of the foreign students in this case are boys. So the answer will be option D. So we have solved, see, in the first 10 to 15 minutes, you have solved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, right? So this will give you a confidence to go ahead in the paper, right? Up to this point, we can see that the reasoning and quant section is on the easier side from these 5 questions at least, right? In the next, the question is from Silogs. For the moment, you can skip this. So let me mark this question as we are skipping this. Okay, so we'll mark this with yellow या फिर green. We will attempt this later, right? Because Silogs for some people are difficult, right? So you can leave this question to start the paper with. Let's move to the next page and see if we can find any easy questions. For the time being, I am solving only easy questions from reasoning and quant, and then I will move to easy questions from reading comprehension. Next is, let's see, right? So here again there is a question from Silog, so we will solve it later. Next, let's search for some easy question. So a boy plays with a ball and he drops it from a height of this. This may be difficult for some people. So what he's saying is a boy plays with a ball and he drops it from a height of 1.5 meter. Every time the ball hits the ground, it bounces back and attains the height of 4 by 5. So here I can see I have to multiply it again and again. Every height will be found out by multiplying 4 by 5 into 1.5, then the next value will be again multiplied by 4 by 5. So this can be a difficult calculation. So for the time being, I will leave this question. I'll move to the next. Images of the consonants. So first of all, as soon as they say consonants, how many consonants are there? 21. Now out of these 21 consonants of the English alphabet are observed in mirror, what is the number of images of these which do not look like their original shape? So you have to count the number of consonants which will not have the same mirror image. Mirror image means left becomes right and right becomes left. So let me start with all the alphabets which will have the same mirror image. So A will have the same mirror image, B, nahi, C, nahi, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, right? So all these will have same mirror image. Out of these, I have to remove the vowels A, U, I, right? Out of these remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 will have the same mirror image. So out of 21, the alphabets which will not have the same image are 21 minus 7. So there are 14 consonants which will not have the same mirror image. So the answer for this question is 14. Very easy question. So you can attempt such questions. So we have done this. Now direction and distance questions are very easy. In this page, you can see question number 18 is from direction and distance. Question number 20 is also from direction and distance. So first, let's solve the question number 18. What you have to do is just make the diagram properly, right? And that is more than enough. You will get to the correct answer for both distance as well as direction. So let's start with this. A bank employee drives 10 kilometer south. So this is south, 10 kilometers south from her house, and turns to her left and drives another 20. So this is left now. So this is left 20. Again, she turns left and drives 40. Okay, she drives 40. Then she turns right and drives 5. Turns right and drives 5. She again turns to her right and drives 30. Right? So again 30. Right? To reach her bank. What is the shortest distance between the bank? This is bank and this is house. Right? Now you see this is in a line because this total is 40. Right? The total distance is 40. This is 30 and this is 10. Right? So these are aligned. Right? Here we have 25. This is 25. Oh, sorry, 20. I should use a different color. So let's see, this is 20 and this is 5. So the distance between the house and the bank is nothing but 25. So the answer for this question is 25. Very easy question. You can see the question is very easy. You can attempt such question at the start of your exam, right? So I can see the time is almost 15 minutes. We have solved 5 questions there. 6 and 7 questions are done, right? We are moving at a good pace where we are solving every question in 2.5 minutes, right? Let's move to the next. Now, before moving to question 19, we will solve question 20. This is also from direction and distance. So here, what they are saying is a woman runs 12 kilometers north. 12 kilometers north. Okay. Then 6 kilometers towards south, right? And then 8 kilometers towards east, right? So this is the diagram now. This is 12 this way, 12 downwards. So this is 6 and this is 8, right? Now the angle is defined from east or west. How much north or south we are from east or west? Sorry, this is not visible, right? So I will solve it inside the paper. Let's see again. So 12 kilometers north, 6 kilometers south, then 8 kilometers east, right? Now we have to see this. This is 6, this is 8, and this is the angle. Every time we calculate the angle from the east. how much north of east, right? So first of all, this direction is nothing but north of east, that is clear. So we can remove the option C, south of east. We can remove the option A, south of east. This is nothing but north of east. Now, if we get a triangle like this, right angle, where this is 8 and this is 8, then this angle is 45 degree. But here the altitude is not 8 but 6. So this angle will be nothing but less than 45. So an angle less than 45 north of east is our answer. Remember, always we need to find the angle from east or west, right? How much north of east, how much north of west, that we need to calculate. In this case, because the altitude 6 is lesser than the base 8, so the angle will be less than 45. Okay, you can remember this, right? You must have learned this in geometry also. Now let's see the question number 19. If you see question number 19, this is based on possibilities. What are the numbers which follow the condition, right? So if you know PNC, you can use those methods, or here you can just iterate and solve the question. What it is saying is integers are listed from 700 to 1000. In how many integers is the sum of the digits 10, right? So all the numbers from 700 to 1000 will be 700 something, 800 something, 900 something. Let's start with the numbers from 700, right? What is the minimum number you can think of where you will get the sum of the digits as 10 and the number will be between 700 and 800, right? So first number can be 703, right? All the digits are, sum of the digit is 10, 703. Similarly, you can have 730. Similarly, you can have 712. You can have 721. Is there any other possibility where you can get the sum of the digits as 10 and the number is between 700 and 800? No, you can't find such numbers. What are the other possibilities? Similar to 703, you can have 802 or 820. Also, you can have 811, right? Because the digits can repeat. We can get a number 811 where the sum of the digit is 10 and the number is between 800 and 900. Okay. Another in 900, 901, 910. Right. So how many numbers are there? How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So there are 9 such numbers which have the sum of the digits as 10. Okay. So 9 such numbers are there. So this is also a very easy question if you know how to approach these questions. Up to this point, we have only left questions from Silogs, right? We have left question number 10 and then we left question number 15. Now let's move to the next part. Let's search for more easy questions. Can you find some easy questions in this page? The most easy question I can find is this. Question number 27. Following is a matrix of certain entries. The entries follow a certain trend row wise. Choose the missing entry. If you see, every row has B, every row has A, every row has C, and the sum of the first number and the last number is the middle number. 7 plus 3 is 10. 3 plus 6 is 9. So 10 plus something is 13. So this must be 3. Also, each of the row has A, B, C. Here we have A, C. So here we should have B. So the answer should be 3B. This is the most easy question here. Every year we get 4 to 5 questions from series, right? We get such questions also. Just look at question number 26. This is very easy again. Replace the incorrect term by the correct term in the given sequence, where odd terms and even terms follow the same pattern, right? Odd terms are here 1, then 7, then 13, then 21, then 31, then 43, right? So nothing, 3 plus, what is the pattern? 3 plus 4 equals to 7. 7 plus 6 equals to 13. 13 plus 8 equals to 21. 21 plus 10 equals to 31. And 31 plus 12 equals to 43. So similar pattern should be followed by all the odd even terms, right? Or what are the even terms? 2, 4, 10, 18, 28 and 40. Now if you see 28 plus 12 is 40, right? 18 plus 10 is 28. 10 plus 8 is 18, right? 4 plus 6 is 10. All these are following the same pattern. But 2 plus 4 is not here. We need to get 4, right? And the pattern should be plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. So what is the incorrect term? The incorrect term is nothing but 2. In place of 2, we should have 0. Only then we will have the same series as the odd terms, right? Here, if the in place of 2 we have 0, 0 plus 4 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18, right? 18 plus 10 is 28, 28 plus 12 is 40. So the incorrect term is 2, and in place of 2 we should have the correct term, which is nothing but 0. So this is also a very easy question. Okay, right? So these types of questions are very easy, right? Again, the question number 25 is from puzzle. Now puzzle questions are data heavy. They will have lots of information, but those are very easy once you know how to simplify the information, right? In this case, when there are 7 books, P, Q, R, S, T, U are placed side by side, right? And then there are some information given as R, Q, T have blue color and others have red. So there are characteristics given about all the different types of books. So first you should make a table. So this is P, this is Q, R, S, T, U and V. Right? Now what is the characteristic given to you? Blue and yellow cover. Then only S and U are new books, others are old. So new and old. Last में gazetters and the law reports, right? Now let's fill in the information. So first R, Q, T have blue covers. R, Q and T have blue covers, others have yellow. Done. S and U are new. S and U are new. All others are old. Okay. P, R, S are law reports. P, R, S law report, others are G, G, G and G. Now what they have asked you is books of old. So we need old books. So we can remove the new books. Old blue covers. So we can remove the yellow covers. And we need the gadgeters, right? So we can remove the law reports. So only Q and T are left. Q and T are left. So the answer will be option C, Q and T. This is also a very easy question, right? Very easy question. You can do this question first to start with, right? Now let's move to the next. So here 28 you are given two identical sequence in 2 rows, sequence 1 and sequence 2, which is the entry in place of C for the sequence 2. So we have to, when two sequences are identical, that means both will follow the same pattern. So whenever the series is first decreasing and then increasing, you can identify the series as multiplication, right? All the times when the series is decreasing or remains same and then increases, that is a multiplication series. You can see 8 becomes 4 when multiplied by 0.5. 4 becomes 6 when multiplied by 1.5. 6 becomes 15 when multiplied by 2.5. Right? So similarly, we need to find C. So C is nothing but 5 into 0.5 into 1.5 into 2.5, which is nothing but 5 into 1 by 2 into 3 by 2 into 5 by 2. This is nothing but 75 by 8. Now 75 by 8 is nothing but 9 8s are 72, 9 point something. Right? We need not calculate the whole thing. We get the value as 9 point something. The only option is option C. So this is another very easy question from series. So you can attempt these questions first before moving to the difficult ones. right? We are already leaving the questions which are difficult. Okay. Now, this question is lengthy. I will attempt it later, right? I will attempt this later. Next move. Let's move to the next part. Let's see more easy questions. So here, question number 35 is saying in a group of 120 persons, 80 are Indians, rest are foreigners. There are 120, out of which 80 are Indians and 40 are foreigners. Further, out of 120, 70 persons in the group can speak English. The number of Indians who can speak English is. In such questions, what we need to find is the range of people who can speak English, right? So first of all, let's make Indian English speaking maximum. How many people are speaking English? 70 out of 80. So if we assume that all the 70 are Indian, that is the maximum value of Indian speaking English. So this is 70, this is 0. The population who speak English from India max can be at 70. Next, Indian English speaking minimum. What is the minimum number of people from India who can speak English if this is the condition? So what we need to do is max out the number of people speaking English from the foreign side. So maximum it can be 40. There are 40 foreigners. Let all the foreigners speak English. So 40 from foreigner, 40 out of foreigners will speak English, and rest 30 will speak English from Indian population. Now, Indian population speaking English vary from 30 to 70. Minimum 30 Indians will speak English and maximum 70 Indians can speak English. So, the answer will be the number of Indians who can speak English is 30 or more. The number of Indians who can speak English is 30 or more. Right? This is one type of question which is coming very frequently, and this is the method how you should solve them. Right? You should find the range. Okay, in this case, the range of Indian people speaking English is from 30 to 70. We have one case minimized the population from India speaking English, and in another case we have maximized it. Right? So the range is from 30 to 70. So the answer will be 30 or more. So this is another easy question which you can attempt in the first half an hour. Okay. Now, what is the question number 36 saying? Consider all 3-digit number without repetition of digit obtained using 3 non-zero digits which are multiple of 3. What are the digits which are multiple of 3? So multiple of 3 digits are 3, 6, 9. Now we need to find all the numbers which are made from 3, 6 and 9 without repetition and find the sum, right? Now, what are the numbers possible from these 3 digits? So you can have 369. You can have 396. Then you can have 639. You can have 693. Then you can have 936 and you can have 963. The sum is nothing but 18 and 12, 30, right? And 36, 6, 3 carry over, 39, 9, 39, 3996. The sum is nothing but 3996. Now, what are the options given to you? S is always divisible by 9. So, when you divide this by 9, 36, then 36, 36. So, this is divisible by 9. Again, if the number is divisible by 74 or not, we need to check if the number is even. If the number is even, it is divisible by 2. Next, we need to check if the number is divisible by 37. So when you divide this number by 37, 39 divided by 37 leaves 2, right? And 296 is divisible by 37. So if you do this 37 into 8, let's see what this number is. 8 7s are 56, 5 carry over. 8 3s are 24, this is 296. So this number is also divisible by 74. So both 1 and 2. The number is divisible by both 74 and 9. Here also you don't have to do anything special. What you need to do is find the numbers which can be found from 3 digits, 3, 6 and 9, right? there are 6 numbers. If you know how to arrange 3 things at 3 places, right? That is by 3 factorial. Here also we have 3 places for a 3-digit number and there are 3 different digits. So how can we know the total number of numbers that can be formed from 3 digits? 3 factorial. 3 factorial is nothing but 6. I have written all the 6 number possible. I have found out the sum, and the sum is divisible by both 74 and other number is 9. So the answer is this. Okay, right? Now look at question number 37. The question number 37 looks very lengthy, but this is one of the most easiest question in this paper. How? So there are two classes A and B having 25 and 30 students respectively. In class A, the highest score is 21 and the lowest is 17. So range of score in A is 17 to 21. In class A, the range is from 17 to 21. Now, in class B, the range is from 22 to 30. Okay. 4 students are shifted from class A to B. Now 4 students are shifted from class A to class B. Now, the average score of class B will definitely decrease. Now, if you see, the range of marks from of students from class B is from 22 to 30, and all the 4 students coming to class B will have marks lesser than 22. So basically, the average will obviously decrease, right? Okay. So in this case, all the entries now adding to class B are lesser than the least value, which is 22. So the average will decrease definitely. Suppose you have a class with score 5 and 5. So the average is 5. Now you are moving a student having 3 marks to the class. Now the total is 13 and the number of people are 3. So the average decreases from 5 to a lesser value, which is 13 by 3. Similarly, in this case, the average will definitely decrease because all the entry coming to class B have lesser value than the average before. Okay. So this is correct. This you can say. Now the second statement is the average score of class A will be definitely increasing. You can't say this. Suppose the average of class A was 20 and all the 4 entries moving from 17 to class A to class B are higher than 20, sorry. So all the entries having 21 as their value move from A to B, then the average will decrease. So we can't definitely say that the average of class A will increase or decrease. We can't comment, right? So this is not true in all the cases. So only one is the answer here. Okay, done. So only one is the answer here. Now next are data sufficiency. We will attempt these questions later. These are lengthy questions or these can be tricky. So first we will try to attempt the easy question and then we will move to these questions. Okay. Let me try to find next easy questions. Before moving to that, I have already told you there is a batch launching on 1st of December. You will have 2 free classes. First will be on 1st of December. Where we will discuss basics of maths, all the basics you need to start with maths, and in the second class, 2nd of December, we'll start with coding and decoding. Now, if you need one-stop solution for all your CSAT worries, right? So you can opt for this. You will have classes, you will have your test, you will have guidance from me throughout the course. I'll try to guide you through the course, and also after that you can navigate the CSAT paper very easily without any much effort, right? In the class, we will discuss the concepts, we will solve practice questions, we will solve PYQs. If time permits, I will also solve the DPPs and weekly tests, the difficult questions which you are not able to understand from the solutions, right? So if you want a solution which takes care of everything related to CSAT, you can opt for this, and this is starting from 1st of December. Now let's continue and solve some more questions. So let's find more easy questions from reasoning and So Quant, right? So question number 45. Runs scored in first innings, balls faced in the first innings. Runs scored in the second innings, balls faced in the second innings. Who is the fastest run scorer? Now, who is the fastest run scorer is nothing but the question is asking you who has the highest striking rate. That means who takes the minimum number of ball to score more runs. So basically in such cases what you need to calculate is runs per ball. So in the first case, if you add 61 and 14, the total runs are 75 and total number of balls consumed is 175. In the second case, the total runs are 55 and the total balls consumed are 12 and 97. In the third case, total runs are 35 and the total number of balls consumed are 125. In option D, the total number of runs are 25 and the balls consumed are 105. Now, if you see option A, C and D, you can see all of these values are less than 0.5. 75 by 175 less than 0.5. This is less than 0.5. This is less than 0.5. This is less than 0.5. Only one value here is greater than 0.5. Okay? Strike rate of A is less than this, B is greater than, C is less than, and D is less than. So the correct answer is option B. B is the fastest scorer among the given 4 options. Right? So this is a very easy question. So you just need to know fastest scorer is the one who takes least number of balls to score more runs. Right? So what we need to calculate is runs per ball. That's it. If you know this much, you can solve this question. This is a very easy question. Right? Up to this point, we have solved only one moderate questions. The question with the total number possible from 3 different digits. Okay. Apart from that, all the questions are on the easier side. Okay. Now, let's see question number 46. What the question is saying is half of the villagers of a certain village have their own houses. 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. 1/3 of the villagers are literate. 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years of age. Which of the following statement is certainly correct? There is a trick to solve such questions. What you can take is take the total population. Okay? Villagers. Total villagers. You can take these as 100. Right? Now, 1/5 of the villagers cultivate paddy. So paddy cultivators are how many? 1/5. That means 100 by 5. This is nothing but 20. Now 1/3 of the villagers are literate. So literate are nothing but 100 by 3, which is approximately 33. Let's take 33. 4/5 of the villagers are under 25. Under 25 years of age. These are 4 by 5 into 100. This is nothing but 80. So now where are the overlaps possible? Okay. All the villagers who have their own houses are literate. Is it necessary? Villagers who have houses. How many houses? Half of the villagers' houses. Houses are half. That means 100 by 2. This is nothing but 50. So 50 people have houses. There are 33 literate. It is possible none of the people who have houses are literate. So all the villagers who have their own houses are literate. This is not at all true, because there is a possibility 50 plus 33 is 83. Right? So there is a possibility there is no overlap between these two. Some villagers under 25 years are literate. Right? Now this only half of the villagers who cultivate paddy are literate. We can't say paddy are 20, half of 20. We can't say if all 20 can be literate. So this is not possible. No villagers under 25 years age own house. So 50 people have houses. Under 80, under 25 there are 80 people. So there at minimum there will be an overlap of 30. At least 30 people under 25 will have the house. Right? So this is also incorrect. Only option left is this. Some villagers under 25 are literate. Right? Because literate people are 33. At minimum, the interaction between these two will be 30 minimum. and max it can get to 33. So minimum under 25 people, 13 can be literate, and maximum under 25, 33 people can be literate. Though the range of literal people from under 25 years of age is 13 to 33, right? So some villages under 25 of the age are literate, that you can say for sure. Now this is a reasoning question. You need to analyze the data given and then proceed to solve this, right? This is also a very easy, you can say a moderate question. Okay, we'll solve the data sufficiency questions later. Let's move to another easy question. So this is a very easy question. They have directly asked you what is the date, what is the day on 10th of October 27. So the formula is remainder when century plus year plus leap year plus month plus the day plus 5 is divided by 7. This is a formula, right? So here, what is the century? Century is 2000. The code for 2000 is nothing but, I am directly solving this through the codes, right? You should remember the codes to solve the questions from calendar. So here, code for century is 0. There are 27. Number of leap years are quotient when 27 is divided by 4, which is nothing but 6. Then October has code as 1. So the code for a normal year is nothing but 144025036 where each month have a definite code in ordinary and a leap year. So when I'll drop a calendar concept video, you can see all these formulas there. Okay, so 0, 26, 6, 1. What is the date? Date is 10 and then 5 remaining. We have to find the remainder when this whole is divided by 7. So 27 plus 6 remainder when 27 plus 6 33, 34, 44 and 49. 49 divided by 7 remainder is 0. Now 0 is a code for Sunday, right? So this is a Sunday. Now I am solving this paper assuming that all the people attempting these have completed their CSAT and now they want to test themselves, right? If you are one of those who is not able to solve all these questions, you need to study, right? You need to get the concepts clear, right, first, and then practice some question and then try to attempt this, right? So the batch is for you guys who have not started their CSAT preparation yet and want to get into thick of things, right? Now next, again Silox, we can drop this for the moment. What is the value of x in the sequence this? Now if you see the sequence, how is 7 related to 2? So 2 into 3 plus 1 is 7. Again 7 into 3 plus 1 is 22. 22 into 3 plus 1 is nothing but 67. 67 into 3 plus 1 is nothing but 202. And next 202 into 3 plus 1 will be nothing but x. Now x will be 606 plus 1, 607. So the answer for this question is 607. Very easy, direct, straightforward series question. So the answer is nothing but 607, right? So we are up to question number 50, right? And almost 45 minutes are done. We have solved almost 20 questions, right? So let's move and search for more easy questions. So I have told you this year 2021 reasoning and quant were on the easier side. I am started with reasoning and quant and I am finding easy questions. So I am continuing with reasoning and quant. So I will try to switch to reading comprehension at almost 1 hour mark. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. So let's try to solve this. So Vijay spent an equal amount of money to buy some pen and some pencils of the same quality from the same store. If Jay bought 3 pens, 5 pencil and Vijay bought 2 pen and 3 pencil, then which of the following is correct? Both of them have spent the same amount of money. That means Jay spent the money on 3 pens and 5 pencils. So 3 pen plus 5 pencil is nothing but Vijay spent the money on 2 pen and 7 pencil. If you simplify this, so this will give you pen equals to 2 pencil. That means the cost of 1 pen is nothing but the cost of 2 pencils. Let's find the option. The price of 1 pen is 2 times the price of a pencil. Which option is that? Option C. So the correct answer is option C, right? Here, the price of 1 pen is nothing but 2 times the price of a pencil. So this is a very straightforward linear equation question. You need to frame the equation from the given question and just solve, and you can see the option C is the correct answer. Now, question number 54 is a classic option question from percentage. Every year you get such questions where they compare two quantities among themselves on magnitude wise also and percentage wise also. Here they are saying P scored 40 marks more than Q. That means P scored 40 marks more than Q. That means P is nothing but 40 plus Q. Q scored 10% less marks than P. That means Q is nothing but P minus 10% of P. Okay? So P minus 10% of P. Now, what is this equation? Q is nothing but P minus 0.1 P. That is 0.9 P. If you put 0.9 P here in the first equation, right? So what you will get is P equals to 40 plus 0.9 P. So P minus 0.9 P equals to 40. That means 0.1 P equals to 40. So P equals to 400. Now Q is nothing but 0.9 into P, which is 0.9 into 400. So Q is nothing but 360. So this is nothing but option A. 54 option A is the answer. They have asked you what is the value of Q. So first they have said that P is 40 more than Q. That means P equals to 40 plus Q. And in the second instance, Q is nothing but 10% less than P. That means Q equals to P minus 10% of P. You should know what this statement means where they are saying Q is 10% less than P. If you can convert that to the equation, you will be able to solve this question very easily. This is a very easy question, and these types of questions keep repeating every year. So you should know how to solve such questions. Now, again, a linear equation question, right? So a person P asks one of his three friends. Let me solve this question here. 55, right? So a person P asked one of his friends X as to how much money he had. X replied, if Y gives me 40, then Y will have half the money as Z. So if Y gives 40, that means Y minus 40, right? Y gives 40, then Y will have half the money as Z. Matlab, this will become Z by 2. This is the first equation. Then Y will have half that of Z. But if Z gives me 40, that means Z gives me 40, then three of us will have equal amount. So X will get 40. This is Y, and Z have given 40. So this is the second equation. Now in the first equation, what you can do is you can put Z equals to Y minus 40 or Y equals to Z plus 40, right? Y equals to Z plus 40 in the first equation. So Y equals to Z minus 40. So Z minus 40 minus 40 equals to Z by 2. So this is nothing but 2Z minus 80 into 2 minus 160 equals to Z. So Z is nothing but 160. If Z is 160, that means Z is 160. That means X is Z 160 minus 40, that is X equals to 80. If X equals to 80, that means Y equals to 120. So we have found the value of X, which is 80. We have found the value of Y, which is 120. And we have found the value of Z, which is 160. Right? Now, what is the question asking you? The question is asking you, what is the total amount of money X, Y, Z have? That means X is 80, Y is 120, and Z is 160. We need to add these. So 6, 1, 360. So the total amount is nothing but 360. Option B is the answer. So first of all, you should know how to convert these word problems into equations. If you are able to convert these to equations, you will solve these questions very easily. Now, if you see, mathematics is written as this. How is chemistry written in the code language? So M is related to L. LM. So when you do minus 1 in M, you will get L. A is related to B by plus 1. So a plus 1 equals to b, then minus 1, then plus 1, and the equation is going like this. So what we need to do is chemistry. You need not solve the complete thing. So first we need to do minus 1. Minus 1. C minus 1 is b. H plus 1. H I. Right? Minus 1. This is d. Plus 1. M N. H I. Minus 1. H. So what is the option? B I D N. B I D N. So option B is the correct answer. Right? So these are very easy coding and decoding question where you need to find out what is the pattern. If you see the first alphabet M is related to L by minus 1. That is, you are moving one place backwards in the alphabetical series. L comes before M. In the second, A is connected to B, B comes after A. So the series is going like this, minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 plus 1, minus 1 plus 1. The same thing we have done for chemistry, and we have found out that the option B is the correct option. Okay, let's move to the question number 57. At which one of the following times do the hour and minute hand of the clock makes an angle of 180 degree? So the formula is nothing but theta equals to 30h minus 11 by 2m, where theta is the angle, h is the time, m is the minute. So theta is 180 degree, h between 7 and 8, all the options are between 7 and 8. So h is nothing but 7. So let me write 30 into 7 minus 11 by 2m. Now this is nothing but 180 equals to 210 minus 11 by 2m. 11 by 2m is nothing but 30. So m is nothing but 60 by 11 and m is nothing but 5 point some minutes. This is minutes. So the time will the angle between the hands of the clock will be 180 degree, will be something between 7:05 and 7:10, and the option is nothing but option D. Now this is a formula based question. Formula based questions are very easy because you don't have to do anything. You have to find what is given in the question, what is the data given, apply the formula and find the missing part. So in this question, is this formula, there are three things: theta the angle, minute how many minutes, and h is the hour, right? So they will give you two of the three things. In this case, they have given you h, which is 7, they have given you theta, which is 180 degree, and you need to find m. So if you know this, you can do such question. Again, very easy question. Now, next another, let's see, in an objective type test of 90 questions, 5 marks are allotted for every correct answer and 2 marks are deducted for every wrong answer. After attempting 90 questions, that means total correct plus incorrect questions are 90. For every correct, they are getting 5 marks. So C into 5 minus 2 into I is nothing but the score, which is 387. Right, these are the two equations, correct plus incorrect question, because he she has attempted 90 questions. So correct plus incorrect are 90. 5 marks for each correct question, 5 into C, minus 2 negative marking for each incorrect question. So 5C minus 2I, which is 387. Now, if you see, we can convert this to 2C plus 2I equals to 180. Now, if you add both these equations, you will get 7C equals to 761, 567. Right? So from here, you will get correct question is 7 8s are 56. Correct questions are 81. So incorrect questions are nothing but 90 minus 81, which is 9. They have asked you what is the total number of incorrect responses. So you have two linear equations. By solving these two linear equations, you get the correct number of questions is 81 as are 81, and the incorrect number of questions are 9. So incorrect questions are 9. Very easy question, right? So these are easy questions. Now if you see question number 59 and 60, while attempting for the first time, I will leave these questions because these seem to be on the tougher side. These are from the number system and these are tricky to solve sometimes, because you have to see, you should know how to use the remainder theorem, how to use the unit digit concept, how to use the divisibility. So we will leave these for the first instance. We will come back to these questions. Let's move and find the other easy questions. So most easy question I can find is question number 68. That is nothing but a unit digit question. Okay, so 1 meter cube you should know is nothing but 1000 liters, right? And you should know 1 liter is nothing but 1000 milliliters. You can write this ml. Now if we put this here, right, so this becomes 1 meter cube is nothing but 1000 into 1000 ml. So 1 meter cube is nothing but 10 to the power 6 ml. They have asked you a cubical vessel of side 1 meter is filled completely with water. How many milliliters of water is contained? So option D, 1,000,000 milliliters are there in 1 meter cube. So what you need to remember is, recently also they are asking such questions. What you need to remember is how many liters are there in 1 meter cube. So in 1 meter cube there are 1000 liters. Every liter has 1000 ml. So in the conversion we will get 1 meter cube is equals to 10 to the power 6 milliliters. Okay, so this is one of the very easy question. What else? So see, now in this page I can find that question number 65 is very easy. This is a alphabetical series question. Every year they are asking this question. What you need to do is place these alphabets here and see if there is pattern or not. So I am placing option A, B, A, right? B, A, after that B, A, B, A. So BBA, ABB, AAB, BA, BBA. So there is no pattern, right? Let's try something else. Let me write it here. Dash, then B, then dash, then A, then dash, then B, A, dash, B, dash, AB, AB, dash, AAB. Right? So what you have to do is place 4 options and check if any of the option is giving you a pattern. So see, if I place option D here, A, B, then A, B, then A, B. The pattern is ABB, AAB. ABB, AAB. ABB, AAB. It is repeating. Every set of 6 numbers have ABB, AAB, ABB, AAB. So the correct option will be option D. In such questions, what you need to do is place these options here and check in which of the options you are getting the correct sequence. No rocket formula, right? Rocket science, easy question. Okay. What else? So this is a PNC question. We can leave this for first instance. Using digits 22333 as digits, how many distinct number greater than 3000 can be found? So there are 5 places for a 5-digit number. All the numbers you need to find is greater than 30,000. So this place is fixed. We need to find 3 here. For the remaining 4 positions, we have 3, 3, 2 and 2. We need to arrange 3, 3, 2, 2 in 4 places. Now, what is the way to arrange these things? The simple formula for arranging 4 things as 4 places is 4 factorial. But when there are some double entries, suppose there are 2 2s, right, and there are 2 3s, so we have to reduce the counting method to a lesser value because there will be multiple cases of the same number. So what we need to do is divide this by 2 factorial and 2 factorial. Now some of you may remember this in the exam, some of you may not, right? So some of you who remember how to solve such questions can attempt this question, others can leave this. So basically this is 4 factorial by 2 factorial into 2 factorial, which is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 upon 4 into 3 into 2 upon 2 into 2. So there are 6 such numbers, right? So the answer for this question is 6. Again, PNC questions are very easy if you know the logic. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. There are 6 persons arranged. So this is PNC. We will try to solve this later. Okay. There are 3 points PQR on a straight line such that PQ is to QR is 3 is to 5. If n is the number of possible values. So Suppose this is PQR. PQR. PQ and QR is 3:5. So from here, PQ and PR ratio is nothing but 3:8. One case is 3:8 where this can happen. Also, other arrangement for this is nothing but we can have P here, Q here, and R on this side. So this is nothing but 3. This is nothing but 5. In this case, PQ is nothing but 3, and PR is nothing but 2. So there are two such cases. In first case, we will have the ratio as 3:8. In the second case, it is 3:2. This is a good question. Some of you may find the first ratio from here, but some of you can miss this second part. So you need to have focus in the exam to check if there are other possibilities or not, right? So this is one question. So the sum of 5 consecutive integers can be 100, right? You should remember whenever there are 5 consecutive integers, how to assume those integers. A plus 2, A plus 4, A plus 6, and A plus 8. Right? Now all these numbers are even numbers, consecutive integers, sorry. These are even numbers. We need to have 5 consecutive integers. 5 consecutive integers will be A plus 1, A plus 2, A plus 3, and A plus 4. Now they are saying if this can be equal to 100. So A plus 1, A plus 2, A plus 3, plus A plus 4. This is nothing but 5 times A, 1 plus 3, 3, 6 plus 10 equals to 100. 5 of A equals to 90, and from here A is nothing but 18. So the numbers will be 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So there are 5 numbers which can have the sum as 100. So this is a correct statement. Second statement, the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. Most easy. Product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum. If I take, you can solve this by variables. In such cases, what I try to do is I try to find examples where this is true. So one thing which comes to my mind is 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Also 1 into 2 into 3 is 6. So there is a possibility all 1, 2, and 3 are natural numbers. All the numbers greater than 1, all the integers greater than 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and so on are natural numbers. So we have a case where the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers is equal to the sum of 3 natural consecutive numbers. So the product of 3 consecutive natural numbers can be equal to their sum, right? So both of these statements are correct. But these types of questions can be tricky. It is important that you have solved such questions before going to the exam so that you can check the concepts given in both these statements. Okay. So now this is done. Let's check if we can do the question number 70. Now question number 70 may look easy, right? But it is a bit tricky. How? An amount of money was distributed among A, B, C in the ratio PQR. In the ratio PQR. A gets the maximum share if P is greater than, that means A gets maximum share if P is greater than Q plus R. Now, any case, if one number is greater than the sum of the two numbers, that means P is greater than Q. That means P is greater than R. Suppose 2 plus 3. So a number greater than 2 plus 3 will be 6, 7, 8, greater than both of them. So if in this case P is greater than QR, then that means P is corresponding to A. So A gets the maximum share. This is correct. Second, C gets the minimum share if R is less than P plus Q. Now this doesn't necessarily means that R is less than P, R is less than Q. For example, one example, P is 5, Q is 4, right? Now R can be 7. Now 7 is less than 5 plus 4, 9. But here minimum is what? Minimum is not C corresponding to R. Minimum is Q corresponding to B. So we have an example where this is not true always, not true always. And this is true always. So you need to use the first statement because it is correct. Sorry. So if you can see, when R is less than P plus Q, for example, P is 5, Q is 4, R is 7. So minimum will be for Q, which is 4. It is corresponding to B. Not true always that R will have the least value. So second is incorrect. Second is incorrect. So only one. Okay. So we can solve this also. All these questions are easy to moderate, and that's why I'm solving them in the first go. It's almost 1 hour now. Okay. And we are at question number 70. In the next 10 minutes, you will at least see all the questions from reasoning and quant, and now we will transition to easier questions from reading comprehension. First, let's see what are the remaining questions from reasoning and quant. So this is the last page. Let's see. So pie chart are very easy. Let's see if we can solve this question. A pie diagram shows the percentage distribution of protein, water, other dry elements in the human body. Given that protein comprise of 16%, water comprise of 70%, so that means other dry are 14%. P percent, if both protein and other dry, if protein and other dry correspond to 30%, this is nothing but P percent, then what is the central angle? So 1% is nothing but 18 by 5 degree. You should remember this. Here P percent is 30%. So 30% will correspond to 30 into 18 by 5 degree. Now this is nothing but 6 into 18 degree. 8 6 are 48, carry 4, 6 1 are 6, 4 add करेंगे 108 degree. So the corresponding angle for both protein and other dry elements that amounts to 30% of the total value is nothing but 108 degree. So you can expect such questions from pie diagram, pie chart. Very easy question. 108 degree, option C. Okay. Again, LCM HCF question is there, or we can see. Let us try. See, this is question number 78. If the price of an article is decreased by 20%, all the things are in percentage. So we can assume to start it with 100. If the price of an article is decreased by 20%, this is decreased by 20%. That means this becomes 80. When you decrease 100 by 20%, it becomes 80. And then the new price is increased by 25%. Now, when you increase to 80 by 25%, 25% of 80 is nothing but 1 by 4 times, right? 80 by 4 is 20. So what you are doing is increasing this by 25%. It again becomes 100. Then what is the net change in the price? Initially, we started with 100 and finally it becomes 100. So percentage change is nothing but 0%. 0% change. So you can solve 78. Very easy question. The net change is nothing but 0%. Next, when a certain number is multiplied by 7, the product entirely comprises only of ones. What is the smallest such number? So one such number is which you should remember. So you must know that 111 is nothing but 7 into 11 into 13. This is very common question asked almost every year, where you need to know what are the factors of 111. So the factors of 111 are 7, 11 and 13. So this is the smallest number with all the ones which will be divisible by 7. So we need to find 111 divided by 7. If you divide this, you will find that this is nothing but 15873. Now this is a memory based question where you need to remember all the numbers of the form, AAA are divisible by 7, 11 and 13. For future questions also, you should remember that all the numbers of the form AAA are divisible by 7, 11 and 13. Right? So we can use that to solve this question. A man completes 7 by 8 of the job in 21 days. How many days will it take to finish the job of quantum of the further increase by? So in such questions, what we use is the formula M1 D1 by W1 equals to M2 D2 by W2. Simple formula. In the first case, a man, so man is 1. Number of days, 21 days. He has completed 7 by 8 of W. 7 by 8 of W. In the second case, the same man has to take how many days? Total days, suppose D, to complete how much work? 50% more of the total work. That means basically W plus W by 2, which is nothing but 3W by 2. So I will place 3W by 2 here. Right? W and W cancel out. 7 and 3. So this is nothing but 8 ऊपर जाएगा. 8 3 is 24. 24 is nothing but 24 into 3. We will get 24 into 3 equals to 2 into D. This will give you D equals to 36. So total number of days it will take to complete the 3W by 2 work is 36 days. It has already done the work for 21 days. Right? So remaining days are nothing but 15. 36 minus 21. So answer is option D. Option D is the answer. Okay. I am leaving this question for now, and I am leaving all these 3 questions for now. Right? So up to this point, we have gone through all the reasoning and quant question, and we have solved all the easy quant and reasoning questions. Now we will switch to the reading comprehension section, and we will try to solve the easier questions from reading comprehension. Right? So let's start with those. So let's start with the reading comprehension now. So we will move to the first page again. Okay. Now in reading comprehension, you should always start the paper from the easier type of question, which are your crux based question. What is the summation of whole the passage, and the message based question. So see, this is inference, I will attempt it later. This is assumption, I will attempt it later. Okay. Then second page, I have a crux based question here. So I will try to attempt this. How you should do is, I have already read the passages. What you should do is pause the video, read the passage, and then try to attempt with me. Here, the study conducted on the impacts of climate change over Kaveri Basin of Tamil Nadu using regional climatic model showed an increasing trend of maximum and minimum temperature, a decrease in the number of raining days. So this is happening. These climatic shifts will have an impact on the hydrological cycles of the region, lead to more runoff and less recharge, and affect the groundwater tables. Further, there have been increase in frequency of the droughts in the state. This have driven farmers to increase dependency on groundwater resources. So that has increased the dependency on the groundwater resources to secure their crops. So climate change की वजह से ये सब दिक्कतें हो रही हैं, and they have to change their practices. Now what is the crux? Crux is the main argument of the passage, what the passage is trying to say. Development of regional climatic models helps in choosing climate smart agricultural practices. They have the passage told you that it will lead you to change to better climate smart agriculture practices? No. So we can't claim this. Heavy dependence on groundwater resources can be reduced by adopting dry land cropping patterns. Now, this is a suggestion. This is not discussed in the passage. Beyond the scope of the passage, you can't claim this. Climate change increases the criticality of water resources while simultaneously threatening it. This is happening because of the changes. People have heavy dependence on groundwater. It can threaten the ground resources. Climate change increases the criticality of water resources by simultaneously threatening it. This can be the answer. Climate changes cause the farmers to adopt unsustainable livelihoods. Now, farmers' livelihood is not discussed, so you can't get to this. So this is a very easy question where 3 of the things are beyond the scope of the passage. The passage is mostly talking about how the water resources are threatened because of the changing things, right? So this is the best option. This is the correct answer. So you can start with such questions from reading comprehension. Again, next is assumption. I will leave this for the time being. I will move to 11th question. Here also assumption, implied, right? What is the implication? I can do such questions, right? So at the start of agroecology is the idea that agrosystem should mimic the biodiversity levels and functioning of natural ecosystem, right? So this is the basic definition. Such agriculture mimics like their natural models can be productive, pest resistant, nutrient conserving, and resilient to shocks and stresses. In ecosystems, there is no waste, nutrients are recycled indefinitely. Agroecology aims at closing nutrient loops, returning all nutrients that come out of the soil back to the soil, such as through applications of farmyard manure. It also harnesses natural processes to control pests and build soil fertility through intercropping. Agroecological practices include integrating trees with livestock and crops. So this is about agroecology. Consider the following. Which one of the following practices can be compatible with agroecology? So all the things which takes into account the natural processes, those can be counted in agroecology, and all the artificial methods will be eliminated. So hydroponics, right? You can eliminate this. Okay. Then fertigation, you can eliminate this. Vertical farming, right? All these are artificial methods, right? So you can eliminate these. What are we left with? We can't choose two, so this is gone. All the questions with multiple options, right? 6 options, 5 options, and you have, by eliminating one, you can eliminate multiple options. By eliminating 2, I can eliminate B, I can eliminate C. From the remaining 4 and 6, 4 and 5, for vertical farming, I have to remove. So this is also gone. The answer will be option A. So this is done, right? You can attempt such questions to start with. Next, let's move to the next thing. Again, inference and assumption. I will leave this for the first time. Then again, next, let's see 8. Here we have some questions. Critical message, critical message. So I will try to attempt these 2 questions. Okay. I will try to attempt these questions. India face a challenging immediate future in energy climate policy making. The problems are multiple. So these are the problems discussed. Fuel imports unstable, governance challenges leading to costly, growing environmental contestation around land, water and air. But all is not bleak. So here the passage is transitioning from all the problems. What the passage is transitioning to: growing energy efficiency programs, integrated urbanization and transport policy discussions, inroads to enhancing energy access and security, and bold renewable energy initiatives, even if not fully conceptualized, suggests the promise of transformation. So both sides are discussed. Now let's see the critical message. The critical message is nothing but the title for the passage. In each of the message question, what you need to try is find the title, and the title should cover both the positive and negative aspect of the passage. So similarly, we will try to find a title which includes both the types of information. India's energy decision making process is ever more complex and interconnected, right? We get a sense of this. Let's see. India's energy and climate policy heavily tuned to sustainable, heavily tuned to SDGs. There is no talk of SDGs. So you can remove this beyond the scope of the passage. India's energy and climate actions are not compatible with its broader social, economical, and environmental goals. This is talking only about the negative aspect. There is no positive side to this title, so we can't take this as a title of the passage. India's energy decision making process is straightforward, supply oriented. No, there are more aspects to it. This is only talking about one thing, right? So we can't do this. So such titles are used to answer this question. Moderate and cover the entire passage. So you can select option A. In reading comprehension, there are 5 different words. You should know the meaning of all those. Message, you need to find the title. In crux, you need to find the main argument. Inference is the conclusion. implication are the effects, and assumptions are the unsaid basis on which you make arguments. So while solving these questions, you should know these 5 words and the elimination technique which I am using here, right? If you want to see how to use the elimination technique, you can see the RC video, right? In that I have explained everything in detail, how to eliminate different options and how to get to the answer. Okay, let's move to question number 22 now. There are reports that some of the antibiotics sold in the market are fed to poultry and other livestock as growth promoters. They are using these as growth promoters. Overusing these substances can create superbugs, pathogens that are resistant to multiple drugs and could be passed along to humans. Mindful of that, some farming companies have stopped using the drugs to make chicken again, gain weight faster. Since Denmark, up to this point, all the negatives are discussed. Now, an example is given. Since Denmark banned antibiotics growth promoters in the 1990s, the major pork exporter says it is producing more pigs. By reducing or banning the use of growth promoters, they are producing more pigs and the animals get fewer diseases. What does it show? So the main argument is for more muscle, for more growth in the animals, you need not use the growth promoters and the antibiotics. Okay, so what is the critical? People should avoid consuming the products of animal farming. They are not saying you should become vegetarian, so this is wrong. Foods of animal origin should be replaced with food of plant. There is no preference between plant origin food and animal origin food. Using antibiotics on animals should be banned. Now, the use of antibiotics is to treat diseases. You can't ban antibiotics for use on animals, right? If some animal is sick, these antibiotics can be used. So, this is not a feasible message of the passage. Antibiotics should only be used to treat diseases. This may seem extreme, but the extreme is a positive statement that the use of antibiotics should be done only to treat diseases and not as growth promoters, right? So you can attempt this question. Let's find some more questions to attempt. Now this is an assumption based question. Assumption, I will come to these later, right? Next, done, right? Next, logical assumption, rational inference, I'll come to these later. Passage 3 and 4, assumption question. This is a crux question. Let me attempt this, right? So aristocratic government ruins itself by limiting too narrowly the circle within which power is confined. Oligarchic government ruins itself by the incursion scrambles for immediate wealth. They want more wealth, and because of that, they disturb the system. But even democracy ruins itself by excess of democracy. How? Its basic principle is of equal right to all to hold office and determine public policy. This is at first glance a delightful arrangement, that everyone will have the same rights. It becomes disastrous because the people are not properly equipped by education to select the best rulers and the wisest courses. The people have no understanding and only repeat what their rulers are pleased to tell them. Such a democracy is a tyranny or autocracy. Plato, right? So they are telling you that all the forms of government, no form of government is idle, right? Every form of government has some problems. In democracy, because of democracy itself, it can ruin itself, right? So let's see such option from the given options. Human societies experiment with different forms of government. Now, this can't be the crux. The passage is not trying to say that humans experiment with different types of governments. You can remove this. So this is not the main argument. If this was the main argument, he would have told you only about the governments, right? But would have skipped the negative points about all these types of governments. Any form of government tends to deteriorate by excess of its basic principle, right? This can be true because in case of democracy, they have told you how it deteriorates because of excess of democracy itself, right? So this can be one of the options. Education for all citizens ensures a perfect, functional and sustainable democracy. We can't claim this, that education will give each citizen the sense how to vote and whom to vote, right? We can't do this. Having a government is a necessary evil because tyranny is inherent in any form of government. Again, extreme. This is also extreme. So these options can't be your answer. The option should be option B. Okay. So the answer for question number 34 will be B. Let's move to the next question. So let's move to more easy questions from reading comprehension. I have already told you about the batch. Now see, here we have a question from central idea. We can solve this. These are implication based. We can try to solve this as well. So in the first go, try to solve questions from message, crux and implication, right? So nothing can exist in natural state which can be called good or bad by common assent. Since every man who is in a natural state consults only his own advantage and determines what is good and bad according to his own fancy, and insofar as he has regard for his own advantage alone and hold himself responsible to no one save himself by any law, and therefore sin cannot be conceived in a natural state, but only in a civil state which is decreed by common consent what is good or bad, and each one holds himself responsible to the state. What it is saying is, in natural state there is no concept as good or bad. It is there only when a state enforces that, right? So if in a society all the people have consented to that this is considered good, this is bad, then only the concept of good and bad will be there in the society, right? So now we have to find the central idea. I have already told you what is the central idea. The conception of what is right or wrong exists due to the formation of a state, right? So this is the correct statement, because there is nothing good or bad without a state. We have already seen in the passage. So this is the most ideal option. Let's see the other options. Unless a ruling authority decides that what is right or wrong, no one would be morally right. This is extreme. We can't assume that everyone is immoral until unless a state decides what is wrong and what is right, right? So this we can't claim. Man is inherently immoral. Again, extreme. The idea of what is right and wrong necessary for the survival of the human species. No. Human species survived also when there was no state, right? So all these three options are extreme. Only option 1 is the correct answer. Okay. So it is almost 1 hour 20 minutes. We have gone through the easy questions from quant and reasoning. We are now going through the easy questions from reading comprehension. Now these type of questions are very easy, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 statements, and if you eliminate one of those, you can get the answer. See, let me give you a trick. Find the extreme statement. I haven't read the reading comprehension yet, right? Too much globalization is not in the best interest of any country. Now this is an extreme statement. Even after reading the complete passage, you will find this is an extreme statement which is not supported by the passage. So this is a wrong statement and extreme statement, right? You can check from the passage. So because of this, option A is gone, option B is gone, option D is gone. The answer is option C. So once you have read all the 5 types of words and you know how to eliminate, right, you will be able to solve many questions directly from options also. At least you will narrow the options from 4 to 2. That I can say, right? If you practice PYQs properly and you understand what is the meaning of each word and how to eliminate options, you will be able to narrow down the options from 4 to 2 in most of the cases. And then you just have to apply some of your mind and read the passage carefully. You will get to the correct answer. If you know how to navigate through the reading comprehension, CSAT will become very easy ride for you. You won't have any tension and you will sail through CSAT very easily. Okay, so these 2 questions are done. Let's move to the next section, which is this here also implied and corollary. Corollary is nothing but just an extension of what is given. So in India, the objective of macroeconomic policy is to enhance the economic welfare of people, and any one wing of such macro policy, monetary or fiscal, cannot independently work. Monetary and fiscal cannot work. So monetary policy or fiscal policy cannot work independently. The central bank cannot work independently of the government, right? One wing makes the monetary policy, other wing makes the fiscal policy. It is given that both these sections can't work independently. Similarly, central bank cannot work independently from the government. So this is the correct statement. This thing is nothing but written in a different language. These two things are same. If this is true, corollary makes this true. If this information is the passage true, by corollary we mean what are the other piece of information which will be true. Corollary questions are nothing but the extension of the information given in the passage. So this is a very easy question. Okay, you should start with these types of reading comprehension, short to medium reading comprehension, and then move to assumptions and inferences. This year also, 2025, you have 30 questions from reading comprehension. Unless you have message and assumption questions same from the both the question from the same passage, you should not attempt the assumptions and inferences questions in the first book, because those are very tricky and you can do mistakes in them and can get negative marking. So first try message, crux, corollary, right? All these types of questions. Let's see the resolution of bankruptcy cases of India banks under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code should help bring non-performing assets situation under some control. Despite the slow pace of resolution by the NCLT, the code can be helpful in cleaning up bank books in future credit cycle. ठीक है? The recapitalization of public sector banks too can help increase the capital cushion of banks and induce them to lead more and boost economic activity. Right? This can happen. This is the reason why this was formed. But bad debt resolution and recapitalization are only a part of the solution, as they by themselves can do very little to rein in reckless lending. Now problem is, by themselves can it do very little to reduce the reckless lending. If you have rules, insolvency, you know how to do that, right? But if the reckless lending is not curbed, you will face the same problem again and again, right? That has pushed the Indian banking system to its current sorry state. Unless there is a systemic reform that addresses the problem of unsustainable lending, future credit cycles will continue to stress the banking system. So basically there are requirement of reforms, because the problem is not when a bad bank is formed. The problem is why the bad banks are forming, because of reckless lending. So we need to tackle that situation by doing reforms. So let's see what options are there. Lending by banks should be closely monitored by government beyond the scope of the passage. Not discussed. Interest rate should be kept low as to induce bank to lend more. Interest rate, no discussion. Merger of many banks into few larger banks alone is long-term solution. This is not discussed. Indian banking system requires structural reforms as a long-term solution to bad loan problem, right? We need structural reforms. How to lend, that is the main issue. If we sort out that, we will face less number of bad banks in future, probably. Okay, so you can attempt such questions. Now let's move to the next part. Okay, here we have central idea and inference. Again, in the next page we have these questions. So let's first try to solve these questions. Central idea, message. The best universities like Harvard and MIT, despite having the luxury of having some truly excellent teacher on their payroll, are increasingly embracing the flipped classroom. What are these classrooms? Where students listen to video lectures at home and spend class time applying their knowledge. What they do in the class is apply their knowledge, solving problems, discussing examples, etc. Okay, they read the concept at home through the videos, and then the classroom is used for discussions. Professor guide the discussions and fill in whenever necessary, explaining those bits that seem to be eluding the students and throwing in advanced ideas that happen to be topical. Okay, these universities have made their video lectures available for free for anyone in the world. They are also encouraging colleges and universities all over the world to integrate these online courses into their own pedagogy, picking the pieces that are appropriate for their needs and building a package around them. So now the top universities have given their content to everyone to use, right? So you need not go to MIT to study the course discussed there. Okay, the classrooms there are used to do good discussions. You won't be part of that, but you can learn the basic concepts from the professors of Harvard and MIT, which is a great thing, right? Today also you have many options where you can learn from these professors by online modes. Okay, now what is the central idea discussed here? So what are the options? Efficacy of university would be better in online mode of conducting classroom tuitions as compared to conventional. No comparison, right? No comparison. So this is wrong. There is no comparison of online mode with conventional classrooms. Availability of higher education can be made easier and cheaper without diluting the content, right? The method of flipped classroom is doing what? It is making it easier for the best type of content to be available to more number of students, and it is cheaper because now it is available for free online without diluting the content. Why you are not diluting the content? Because you are getting the content from the professors of MIT, right, and Harvard. So you are not diluting the content. This can be one of the message, central idea of the passage. We need not invest much in infrastructure related to higher education and yet develop better human and social capital. Infrastructure में invest करना है नहीं करना है is not discussed, right? Whether we should invest in infrastructure or not is not the main point of the passage, so it can't be the central idea of the passage. Okay, private sector institution in higher education as well as coaching institution can take advantage of the opportunity. We don't know if they can take advantage or not, right? All these options are beyond the scope of the passage, and that's why these questions are very easy, because you will find that only one of the statement is majorly talking about the information in the passage, and rest of the statements are vague or very simply out of the scope of the passage. So only answer is option B. So here you can select option B. So in the exam also you should try to find questions which are of the same type, where you can eliminate other options very easily. We will see within assumption questions also you will find that some questions are very easy because the elimination is on the easier side, and some question can be on the difficult side. Rational inference, we will come to it later. Now let's move to next thing. Here also assumption we will solve later. Central idea, we can solve this question, right? So let's try to solve this question first. In our schools, we teach our children all that is there to know about physics, maths, and history, and what have you. But do we teach them about the bitter caste divides that plagues the country, about the specter of famine that stalks large parts of the land, about gender sensitivity, about the possibility of atheism as a choice, etc.? Equally important, do we teach them to ask questions? This is the main thing. Do we teach them to ask questions, or do we teach them only to passively receive our wisdom? Most of the Indian education system is based on this, that where teachers are just telling the students, you should know this. They are not asking questions in return from the students. From the cocoon world of school, suddenly the adolescent finds himself in the unfettered world of university. Here she is swept up in a turmoil of ideas, influences, and ideologies. This is the first time when many of the students explore different ideas. They are influenced by people, and different ideologies are there in front of them, right? For someone who has been discouraged from asking question and forming an opinion, the transition can be very, very painful, right? So now the passage is about that in primary and the education before going to the colleges, we are not encouraging students to ask questions, or we are not involving them in very deeper issues which the society faces, right? So now let's try to find the central idea for this passage. School curriculum is not compatible with the expectations. Now expectations of children and parents are not discussed beyond the scope of the passage. Emphasis on academic achievement does not give time for development of emphasis on academic achievement does not give for development of personality and skills. This is not discussed, right? Okay, there is lack of time. The problem is there is no introduction of such topics which need to be there. Preparing the children to be better citizens should be the responsibility of the education system. The responsibility is not discussed beyond the scope of the passage. Let's read the last option. To be a better citizen, the present world order demands societal and life coping skills in addition. Now this is a midway statement, right? middle path, that to be better citizen, the present world order demands societal and life coping skills in addition to your academic accomplishments. Okay, then you will be able to cope with the society better. So this can be the better option, option D. Right? Done. Next, let's move to the next part. Here, reasoning and quant. Medieval merchant. The best sums up what is the best option, right? And then there are two questions. So these are the last three: reading, comprehension. So the idea, which one of the following habits is found? So basically these are info based, information from the passage. Okay, so you can try these. This is a good question, right? Philosophical passages you can leave for attempting later, right? You can avoid attempting the philosophical passage in the first go. Okay, it's almost 1:35, 1 hour 35 minutes. We are almost at the end where we have seen the complete paper. Now after this, these three questions, we will be left with almost 30 minutes. Now what you do is go again, right? Try to find easy questions from inference and assumption, try to attempt those, or you find that you have left questions from reasoning and quant which you can solve, you can attempt those now, right? So let's first solve these three questions and then we will see what we need to do. Okay, which of the following best reflects sum up the passages? Okay. Medieval merchants risk the hazards of Silk Road to reach the markets of China. Okay. Portuguese caravels in the 15th century sailed beyond the bounds of the known world, searching less for knowledge than for gold and spices. Okay. Initially for markets, then for gold and spices. Historically, the driver for opening frontiers has always been search for resources and not for knowledge. Science and curiosity are weaker drivers. Science and curiosity are weaker drivers for exploration. The only way to open up space, whether the space of solar system or interstellar space, is to create an economic engine. That engine is resource extraction. That means if we want to explore more area in space, we need to attach it to some economic exploration, and then only we will invest more and more in space exploration. So basically the passage is the men go for exploration when they see economic consideration or resources which they can take back, right, to homeland, right? So which of the following best sums up the given passage? Wealth generation is the primary motive for any human endeavor, right? This is not correct. Wealth generation is not there. Resources. Spaces, whether space is solar or interstellar, will govern our future economy. We don't know what will be the effect on our future economy. Human beings are motivated to explore new frontiers principally by economic consideration. If it is economically feasible, they will try to explore. Wealth generation is based on the risk-taking behavior of vague statement. So basically the answer should be option C. Okay, right? Now there are two more questions. I can avoid these because most people are telling lie and true. These are philosophical passages. So I will leave these for the first instance and then try to solve the easy question from inference and assumption. I will go back. I'll start from reading comprehension again, but this time I will try to solve the inference and assumption questions. Okay. So let's go to the first page again, right? What we can do is, we have already gone through the paper once. What we can do is we can solve all the remaining questions now. So I have already told you how to go through the paper, right? You should first attempt the easier questions. We have already attempted the easier questions from reading comprehension, from reasoning and from quant. Almost for 50 to 55 questions are done. For the next 1 hour, what I will try to do is solve the remaining questions. Okay, and this is how you should attempt the paper yourself also. Start with easy questions from reading, reasoning and quant. That will give you boost in confidence because you will be able to solve more number of questions quicker from reasoning and quant, because in reading comprehension you need time. For the first start, try to solve all the easier questions from reading comprehension, reasoning and quant, and then switch to reading comprehension. And while starting reading comprehension, you should start with the easier types of question, which are message based, crux based, and corollary, right? Information fetching. Then you should move to inference and assumptions. So let's now start with all the remaining questions from the paper, solve them one by one, and we will finish the paper in the next hour maybe. Okay. Chalo, let's start. So first question is, researchers simulated street lighting on artificial grassland plots containing PFIs, sap-sucking insects at night. These were exposed to two different types of lights, a white light similar to newer commercial LED lights and an amber light similar to sodium street lamps. The low intensity amber light was shown to inhibit rather than induce flowering in the wild plants of the pea family, which is the source of food for the PFIs in grasslands. The number of aphids was also significantly suppressed under the light treatment due to the limited amount of food available. Right? So there are effects of these lights on the food production, right? Are mostly negative. What is the inference? Inference means conclusion. What is the conclusion you can derive from the information given in the passage? Low intensity lights have more adverse effect. Low intensity more no. So there is no comparison, right? Because low intensity light have more adverse effect on the plants as compared to high intensity light. The effect is not compared, which is affecting more or less. So this is wrong. Not compared. Light pollution can have a permanent adverse effect on an ecosystem. This can happen. White light is better for the flowering plant as compared to the light of other colors. Again, compared, no comparison. Okay. Proper intensity of light in an ecosystem is important not only for plants but for animal to wake. Right. Light pollution can have a permanent adverse effect on an ecosystem. The effect of light on an ecosystem is discussed in the passage. That is the best conclusion we can draw from the passage. Try to find such options which are related to the passage and not contradicting any of the information and not adding any additional information out of the passage. Those are the best options in reading comprehension. When I teach reading comprehension, you will see with every question I will tell you, first you should understand the passage. Then you should eliminate the two very obvious options, and from the remaining two options you should go based on this. If the conclusion is asked, find the best conclusion. If the message is asked, find the best title. Okay, so this question is done. Now I have told you these types of questions are very easy, right? Because if you eliminate one of the option, you will get the answer. Approximately 80% of all flowering plant species are pollinated by animals, including birds and mammals, but the main pollinators are insects. Pollination is responsible for providing us with a wide variety of food as well as many plant-derived medicines. At least 1/3 of the world's agricultural crops depend on pollination. Bees are the most dominant taxa when it comes to pollination, and they are crucial to more than 400 crops. Okay. Pollination is an essential service that is the result of intricate relationship between plants and animals, and the reduction of the or loss of either affects the survival of both. If diversity of plants decreases, insects won't survive. Insects decreases, plants won't survive. Effective pollination requires resources such as refuse of pristine natural vegetation that will give rise to more insects, more pollination, and better vegetation in return, right? What are the assumptions from sustainable production of India's cereal food grain is impossible without the diversity? Impossible is an extreme statement, right? This is an extreme statement. So one can't be the answer. So if you remove one, A is gone, this is gone. Now 3 and 4 are there. So we have to check only 2. Monoculture of horticulture crops hampers the survival of insects. Now this is again extreme. It hampers the survival of insects. It can reduce the biodiversity of insects, but we don't know if the insects will survive or not, right? So again, this is an extreme. So this is gone. Only option is 3 and 4. This is how you should attempt reading comprehension, by eliminating the most obvious option, right? And always search for these types of questions where you have 3 or 4 statements, because by eliminating one, you will eliminate almost 2 or 3 options. In one of the questions which we have solved, by eliminating one statement where globalization is not in favor of any of the country, we can get to the final answer in one go. Okay. Next, let's move to the next thing. Assumption question. The researchers were able to use stem cells to gauge the neurotoxic effect of the environmental pollutants. Bisphenol A, right? BPA. Okay. They used a combination of biochemical and cell-based assays to examine the gene expression profile during the differentiation of mouse embryonic stem cells upon treatment of BPA, a compound known to cause heart diseases, diabetes, and development abnormalities in humans. Okay. ठीक है. They were able to detect the measure BPA toxicity towards the proper specification of primary germ layers such as endoderm and ectoderm, and the establishment of neural progenitor cells. Okay. Now, what are the assumptions? Assumptions are unstated beliefs based on which this passage is written. BPA may alter embryonic development in vivo. Let's see. Biochemical and cell-based assay are useful in finding out treatments. Now here, if we see detect measure of BPA toxicity. Now we can address the toxicity levels, but we are not sure from the passage if this will lead to treatments for pollution induced diseases. So this is incorrect. We can't say this will lead to treatment because there is no talk of the treatment in the passage. So you can eliminate 2. So if you eliminate 2, you will eliminate this. The option is option C. Easy. Because the passage is talking about, you can know the toxicity level, but you will not be sure that if you will be able to find the treatments or not. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's see. We have done this. We have done this. Now we left this. So let's try to solve this now. So what is the statement? Some radios are mobiles. Some radios are mobiles. This is how we can make some radios are mobiles. Or mobiles are computers. All mobiles are computers. And some computers are watches. Some computers are watches. Okay. So first Venn diagram to start with is this. Let me make it somewhere else. Sorry for this. Let's make it here. Right. So some radios are mobiles. All mobiles are computers and some computers are watches. This is the Venn diagram, okay, where some radios are mobiles, all mobiles are computers, and some computers are watches. What is the conclusion? Certainly some radios are watches. Radios are here, watches are here. There is no intersection. Certainly, we can't say. This conclusion is wrong. Certainly some mobiles are watches. Here also some mobiles are watches. No, right? You can't conclude any of the two, right? From this Venn diagram only, neither conclusion 1 nor conclusion 2 is correct. So we have solved all the question up to question number 10. Let's move to the next thing. Here we have attempted question number 12. Let's see what is the question number 11. So fig trees are considered sacred in India, East Asia, Africa, and are common in agricultural and urban landscape where other large trees are absent. In natural forest, fig trees provide food for wildlife when other resources are scarce and support a high density and diversity of frugivores. If frugivores, birds, and bats continue to visit fig trees located at sites with high human disturbance, sacred fig trees may promote frugivore abundance. Under favorable microclimate, plenty of seedlings of other trees species would grow under fig trees. So basically, birds will come, right? Will bring different seedlings with them, sit on the tree, the seedling will fall, and it will enhance the growth of plants near these fig trees. Basically, all these species which regulate the population of other species around them are keystone species. So first statement is fig trees can often be keystone species in natural forest, right? These can be the keystone species because they are regulating the population of both animals and plants near them. Okay. Fig trees can grow where other large woody species cannot grow. We don't know, right? Sacred trees can have a role in biodiversity conservation, right? These can have effect. Fig trees have a role in seed dispersal, right? So what is the incorrect option? Okay, so 2 is gone, right? 2 is gone, this and gone, and 1, 3, 4 are correct. So option D. Okay, this is how you should attempt your reading comprehension. We have done up to question number 12. Let's move to next 13. We have to find the inference. Now, computers increasingly deal not just with abstract data like credit and details and database, but also with real world physical objects and vulnerable human bodies. A modern car is a computer on wheels, an aeroplane is a computer on wings. The arrival of Internet of Things will see computers baked into everything from road signs to MRI scanners to prosthetics and insulin pumps. There are little evidence that these gadgets will be any more trustworthy. These are used everywhere and these are not trustworthy, as you can see from the passage, than their desktop counterparts. Basically, all these are computers only. Hackers have already proved that they can take remote control of internet connected cars and pacemakers, which can destroy lives, right? This is a very, very serious problem. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is basically it is trying to tell you that these are not safe devices. Okay, so computers are not completely safe. This can be correct. Companies producing the software do not take cyber security. No talk about companies taking seriously or not. Stringent data security laws. These are physical objects, right? Data security laws say this problem won't get solved. The present trend of communication technology will affect our life in future. Very vague statement. It is affecting presently. फ्यूचर की बात क्यों करना, राइट? So the best option is computers are not completely safe. Okay, so we have done up to question number 14. Now here we have left 15, 16, we have attempted 17, 18, 19 and 20. Let's solve question number 15 now. Okay, so what are these? Some cats are almiras. Some cats are almiras. Some almiras are chairs. Some almiras are chairs. All chairs are tables. All chairs are tables. Okay, certainly some almiras are tables. Now almiras are chairs and all chairs are tables, so at least these many almiras will be tables. So certainly some almiras will be tables, correct. Some cats may not be chair. May not be chair is a possibility. In this case only, some cats are not chair. Cats here are not chair, so this is also correct. So both conclusion follow, right? So both the conclusion follow. So question number 15 have the answer as option C. Both conclusion 1 and 2 are true. Okay, now here what is the question? This is one of the difficult questions. Okay, what is given to you? A boy plays with a ball and he drops it from a height of 1.5 meter, which is nothing but 150 centimeter. Every time the ball hits the ground, it bounces back 4/5. So basically, it will bounce 4/5, 4 by 5. Right? This is 120. Again 4 by 5, 96. Again 4 by 5. Suppose 76 point something. I'm approximately. Again into 4 by 5. This is 61 something. Right? Again 4 by 5. This will give you to 49. So it is telling you it bounced back 4/5 of the previous height. The ball does not bounce further if the previous height is less than 50. So basically 49, it won't bounce again. So how many bounces are there? This is the first bounce. It fall from 150, bounce back to 120. Then 150 to 90. It fall from 120, bounce back to 96. Then 96 to 76. It fall from 96, bounces back to 76. From 76 to 61. It falls from 76, bounces back to 61. And from 61 to 49. It falls from 61, bounces back to 49. Now it won't bounce, right? So what are the total bounces? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So total the answer will be 5. This is on the difficult side. You can leave such questions in the exam, but how would you know if you have to attempt these questions or leave these questions? Those will come, those Intuition will come only after you have attempted at least 1200 questions, PYQs, practice questions, 1200 to 1500 questions. Then only you will know which question to attempt and which to leave, right? So now we have done 15, we have done 16, we have done 17, 18, 19, 20. Now let's move to the next part. We have already attempted 21, 22. Again, here we have to attempt two questions, 23 and 24. So policymakers and media have placed the blame of skyrocketing food prices on the variety of factors, including high fuel prices, bad weather in key food producing countries, and the diversion of land to non-food production. Okay. Increased emphasis, however, has been placed on the surge in demand for food from the most populous emerging economies. It seems highly probable that mass communication in these countries could be well poised to create a food crisis. So there can be a food crisis, right? So in this question, policymakers, all these things are given to you. Oil producing countries are one of the reasons for high food prices. Now here it is given that high fuel prices are impacting the situation, but specifically oil producing countries are to be blamed. We can't claim this from the passage. So this is incorrect. We can't claim this. If there is a food crisis in the world in the near future, it will be in the emerging countries. We don't know. There will be a food crisis, but necessarily it won't be in emerging economies. It can happen because of the emerging economies, but these will be the country who will face the crisis. We can't tell, right? So this is also incorrect. So neither one nor two. Similarly, if you read this passage, right, it is about GDP, how it contributes to income growth. Suppose a central message of modern development economies is the importance of income growth, by which it meant as GDP. Okay. In theory, rising GDP creates employment and investment opportunities as incomes grow in a country where the level of GDP was once low. Household, communities, and governments are increasingly able to set aside some funds for the production of things that make for a good life. So basically, income grow hogi, you will save more, and that will help you build more. Okay. Today, GDP has assumed such a significant place in the development lexicon that if someone mentioned economic growth, we know they mean growth in GDP. Now, what are the options given to you? Rising GDP is essential for a country to be developed country. Essential, this is extreme. This is not essential for a country to be developed. Suppose the GDP of US falls tomorrow. Will you say that the country's status has changed from developed to developing? No. So this is incorrect. Similarly, rising GDP guarantees reasonable distribution. Suppose in India's case also GDP is increasing, but does it ensure that uh, distribution of income is to all the households? No, right? So this is also wrong. So neither one nor two. So we have attempted up to question number 24. Let's move to the next part. So here we have attempted 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 we have left, and 30 we have left. So let's see what is question number 29. A person X from place A, this is place A, person X from here. Another person Y from place B, this is B, and person Y from here, right? Set out at the same time to walk towards each other. They are starting to move towards each other, right? The distance between these two is 15 kilometers. Okay, this is 15. So X walks with a uniform speed of 1.5 kilometer and Y walks with a uniform speed of 1 for the first hour, 1.25, then 1.5, then 1.75, and 2, and so on. What is the question asking you? After 5 hours. So X after 5 hours will move how much? 1.5 into 5, which is 7.5. And Y will move, initially it will move 1, then 1.25, then 1.5, then 1.75, and then 2. If you see, this is 5, 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 7.5 again. So this will also move 7.5. Okay, so basically they will meet after 5 hours. This is correct. After 5 hours, the distance covered by x is 7.5, the distance covered by y is 7.5. So they will meet after 5 hours. Correct. They meet midway. The point is middle point. So they will meet midway. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. This is easy question, but because this was lengthy, we left it in the first go, and now we have attempted this. Okay. So at this moment, I think 2 hours are complete. So we have solved almost 60 questions. Even if you make mistakes in 10, 12, 15 questions, you will get through, right? So this is how you should attempt the CSAT paper. Now what I will do is I will solve the rest of the questions, right? Let's see. Question number 30. A student appeared in 6 papers. The maximum marks of are the same for each paper. Let it be 100x. Max marks in each paper, right? What is given to you as his marks in these papers are in the proportion this. By proportion, we can convert this into 5a is to 6a is to 7a is to 8a is to 9a is to 10a. Overall score 60%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 subjects. 6 into 100x. Total marks were 600x. Okay. Out of these 600, let me solve it somewhere else. I can solve it above, right? So total marks. Total marks 600x. Out of these, 60% were scored, right? 60% of 600 is 360x. Now, sum of all these 5 of A plus 6 of A plus 7 of A plus 8 of A plus 9 of A plus 10 of A. This is nothing but 15, 15, 15, 45A. 45A is nothing but 360. 3 of A is nothing but 24, right? A equals to 8x. A equals to 8x. That means the scores are 5 into 40x, then 48x, then 7 8 is 50, 6x, then 8 8 is 64x, then 9 8 is 72x, and then 80x. How many subjects he scored less than 60? Total marks were 100x in one subject. In 3 of the subject he scored 40x, 48x, and 56x. 3 subject he scored less than 100x, and in 60x, and in 3 subject he scored more than 60x. So they have asked you how many subject he scored less than 60% in each subject. So in 3 subjects he scored less than 60%. Okay, this is how you can solve these. This is a very good question, right? You need to understand how proportions work, how you can convert something 100x to 60x by taking the percentages, all those things. So this question is based on percentage and ratio and proportions, right? Let's move to the next part of the paper. We have left one question assumption based and one question inference based here, right? Let's solve this now. With respect to what are called denomination of religion, if everyone is left to be judge of his own religion, there is no such thing as the religion that is wrong. If everyone has to decide, he will tell you that his religion is the best. But if they are to be judge of others' religion, there is no such thing as a religion that is right, and therefore all the world is right, or all the world is wrong in the matter of religion. No man can live without adhering to some religion. We can't say if they can live or not. It is the duty of everyone to propagate, not discussed. Religion denomination tend to ignore the unity of men. Why? because everyone thinks their religion is the best and others' religions are not. Men do not understand their own religion. Wrong. Actually, the passage is telling you the religion is understood by everyone very intimately, and that's why they think all the things related to their religions are correct and all the things related to others religions are wrong. So basically what it is creating is a situation of animosity between different people. Religious denomination tend to ignore the unity of men. So this is the best possible assumption based on the information given in the passage. It is certain that seditions, wars, and contempt or breach of laws are not so much to be imputed to the wickedness of subject as to. This is now a very good question. Listen to this very carefully. Wickedness of the subjects, the people, right? As to the bad state of the dominion, government. This is the people. For men are not born fit for citizen, but must be made so. Citizens are not born, they are made into good citizens. Beside, men's natural passions are everywhere the same, and if wickedness are more, if in a society there are more wickedness and more offenses are committed in one commonwealth than in another commonwealth, means again government, if in one government more problems are created and compared to other, it is certain that the former has neither enough persuaded the end of unity. Basically, the government had not persuaded the subjects, the people of the country, to be united, nor framed its laws with sufficient forethought, right? And also have not framed the laws appropriately, and that therefore it has failed in making quite good its right as a commonwealth. So basically, two duties: citizen को train करना and framing the proper laws is the duty of the government. अगर वो नहीं कर रहे then they are not completing their duties properly, right? So what are the options? Sedition, wars and breaches of laws are inevitable in every dominion. Let's see. It is not inevitable. Extreme है वैसे तो. It is not the people but the sovereign who is responsible for all the problems. The dominion is the best which pursues the aim of unity and has laws for good citizen. कौन सा best होता है? Which have aim for unity and has good laws for the citizen. It is impossible for men to establish a good. This is again extreme, right? So the best option is the dominion is the best. Which government is the best? Which persuades people for unity and also frames good laws which can reduce the wickedness of people in the society. Okay, so this is the correct option. We have done question up to question number 32. Here we have attempted 34. Let's see this. So these types of questions are easy because I have told you, more the number of statements, easier the question. Simple. Inequality violates a basic democratic norm, the equal standing of citizens. Equality is a relation that obtains between persons in respect of some fundamental characteristic that they share in common. Equality is, morally speaking, a default principle. Therefore, persons should not be discriminated on grounds of race, caste, gender, ethnicity, disability, or class. These features of human conditions are morally irrelevant. The idea that one should treat persons with respect not only because some of these persons possess some special features or talent, for example, skilled cricketers, gifted musicians, or literally giants, but because persons are human beings, is by now part of the common sense morality. Equality is a prerequisite for people to participate in the multiple transactions of society from positions of confidence. Now I will try to find the options which are definitely incorrect, right? Occurrence of inequality is detrimental to the survival of the democracy. Extreme option. I can remove this. So I can remove B, I can remove C. No, A and B. Equal standing of all citizens is an idea, cannot actually be realized. Again, extreme. I can remove 3. So I can remove this. The option is C. Listen, I am not trying to find the correct answer. What I am trying to do is eliminate the wrong options, and then my probability of getting the correct answer increases in reading comprehension. This is what I teach in the class also. Here in the discussion, I'm telling you, always try to eliminate and then try to find the answer. Don't directly try to find the answer in reading comprehension. So these are done. Let's move to the next part. Here we have done 25, 26, 37 is done. 38 and 39 are left. Let's try to solve those. So basically this is a data sufficiency question. So question is, what is Seema's rank from the top in the classroom of 40 students? So basically Seema's rank from top 40 students is to be found out. Statement 1, Priya is 4 ranks below Seema. Seema. This is Seema. Right? Seema. Priya is 4 rank below. 1, 2, 3, Priya. And is 31st from the bottom. So we can find the rank of Seema from bottom, and if we can find the rank of Seema from bottom, we can find the rank from top. So basically top rank from top plus bottom minus 1 equals to total. From this information you can find the rank of Seema from bottom, and by using the formula you can find the rank from top. So this statement alone is sufficient to answer the question. Similarly, Ni is 2 ranks above Seema and is 37 from the bottom. Again, using this information also you will be able to solve and tell what is the rank of Seema from top, right? So in both of these cases you can tell this is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, right? So from top her rank will be 6th. Okay, because there are total 40 students. So basically you can answer the question by using either of the statement. Both statement 1 and 2 are required. Either statement 1 alone or statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Option C. Because from both the statements you are getting the rank from bottom, and by using the formula top rank from top plus rank from bottom minus 1 equals to total number of people, right? So by using that you can solve this question. This is a ranking problem. Now second, here who is the heaviest among A, B, C, D, right? So if A and D are heavier than B, E, F, right? And but none of them is the heaviest. So basically C is left, so C will be heaviest. So we can tell by this statement alone. A is heavier than D, but is lighter than C. Here we can't tell who is the heaviest because we don't have information about E and D. So we can't answer by using this. So statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question is the answer. Okay, this is a very easy question. Okay, let's try question number 40. Basically this we didn't try to solve this, but this is also a very easy question. How? In the English alphabet, the first 4 letters are written in opposite. That means these are written like A, B, C, D. Again, the same thing is repeated. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Y and Z are interchanged. So this is now the order. Which will be the 4th letter to the right of the 13th letter? What is the 13th letter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Fourth letter to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The T is the 4th letter to the right of P. So the answer is T. Easy question. Somehow we missed it while attempting the paper for the first time. Okay, so we have solved half of the paper till now, right? Let's move to the next section. Right, I have already told you about the batch. You can find the details in the description. Okay, so let's move ahead. Here we have attempted both the questions. Then here also we have attempted both the questions. Here we have solved 45, 46. We have left 47. Okay, we have done 48. We have left 49. So let's solve the 49th question first. So statement 1 is some greens are blue. Some greens are blue. And some blues are black. Some blues are black. Other possibility of this diagram is what? It can be done like this: green, blue, and these are black. Both the statements are followed and none of the statement is negated by both the diagrams. So both the diagrams are possible. Now let's check the conclusion. Some greens are black. Here in the first diagram, some greens are black, not necessarily. No green is black. In the second case, to solve one check, one conclusion, you should use any one of the diagrams, okay, not both. No green is black, that this is negated by the second diagram. All greens are black. All greens are black. No. All blacks are green. No. Neither 1 nor 2 nor 3 nor 4. Okay. So we have solved this. Now what is left? Question number 47. So question is, what day is the 14th of this month? First statement is the last day of the month is Wednesday. The month can have 28 days, 29 days, 30 days, 31 days. We don't know how many days are there. So if you know the last day of the month, you can't tell me what is the day on the 17th. So this is not sufficient. You can't answer from this statement. Second statement is the third Saturday. The third Saturday of the month was on 17th, right? So what I need to do, I need to make the calendar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? So basically he is saying this is Saturday, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Third Saturday is on 17th, he says. What day is the 14th? 14th is Wednesday. The statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Because if you know what is on the 17th, you can trace back 3 days and you can tell me what is on the 14th. Okay. So this is a very easy question. We should have attempted this in the first group, but sometimes data sufficiency questions can be tricky. So you can leave them to attempt later, right? Let's move. Let's go to the next thing now. We have attempted 51. Now we need to attempt the 52. Conclusion. Okay. So our cities are extremely vulnerable to climate change because of large concentrations of population and poor infrastructure. Large concentration of population. Moreover, population densities are increasing in them, but we have not yet developed the system to address climate change impacts. Our cities contribute to 65% of the GDP, but there are not enough facilities to cater to the needs of the people. It is important to address the issue of air quality. What is important is address the issue of air quality, transport, etc. that are vital to identify sustainable solution. We need to involve citizens in city planning and create an ecosystem that meets the needs of the people. We need to involve citizens in city planning and create an ecosystem that meets the need of the people. Basically, we are not catering to the needs of the people and we are not involving them in the inception of the ideas how the infrastructure is should be developed, right? So what is the conclusion? Our cities need to have well-defined administrative setup with sufficient autonomy. Autonomy is not discussed. Administrative setup is not discussed beyond the scope of the passage. Ever increasing population density is a hindrance in our efforts to achieve sustainable development is not discussed. Also, population density is hindrance, right? It won't go away, right? It will be there. You need to find solution around it. To maintain and develop our cities, we need to adopt sustainable related intervention. Public, right? To maintain and develop our city, we need to adopt sustainability related interventions, right? This can be the correct option. PPP mode of development is the viable long term. Now, no talk about PPP. Okay. So basically, the answer should be option C, right? Done. Question number 52 done. Let's move to the next part. Okay, we have done 53, 54, 55 is done, 56 is done, 57 done, 58, 59 and 60. Now 59 and 60 are very important questions for a preparation of 2026 because nowadays 23, 24, 25 UPSC is again and again asking questions from these. But for solving these questions, you need to first know the concepts and then you need to know how to apply those. That will only happen if you have practiced such questions before. So here what they have told you is 3P, 4P, PP are added and it becomes RQ2. Basically, on the right, what is the unit digit? Unit digit. On the left hand side, what is the unit digit of all the four numbers? P, 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 P. You have to add P 4 times and the unit digit comes out to be 2. Right? What are the possibility of P? So basically, P plus P plus P plus P unit digit. I am talking about the unit digit only. What are the possible values of P as digit which can give you the unit digit 2? P equals to 3. P equals to 3. This becomes 12. Unit digit 2. Right? Similarly, P equals to 8. 8, 8, 8, 16, 6, 32. This becomes 32. Unit digit 2. There are only two possibilities of P. There are two possibilities of P for which the unit digit on both left hand side and right hand side are same and both the unit digit are 2. When P is 3 and P is 8. When P is 3, P is 3, this becomes 33 plus 43 plus 33 plus 33, which is nothing but, if you add these, 60, 100, 130, 142. First sum is this. P equals to 8. 38 plus 48 plus 88 plus 88. Right? 160, 200, 230 and 32. 260. Right? 262. Now both the sums are, what is the arithmetic mean of all such possible sums? The possible sums are 142 and 262. Mean 142 plus 262 by 2. This is nothing but 404 by 2, which is 202. This is a very good question. You should be very careful while attempting such questions. If you don't know how to use unit digit while solving these questions, you will get stuck, you will waste your time, and you won't, in most of the cases, get to the correct answer. It will dent your confidence. So unless you know and you have practiced such questions, don't try to attempt these questions in the exam. Okay? Again, next question. See, Q is multiplied by 3 and that gives you a unit digit Q. Unit digit. Again, unit digit concept. Q into 3 gives you Q as a unit digit. When is this possible? 1 into 3, 3. 2 into 3, 6. 3 into 3, 9. 4 into 3, 12. Right? See, I am placing the value of Q. Only in case of 5. It gives you 5 into 3 as 15 when the unit digit Q is same. So from this you get that Q equals to 5. That means P5 into 3 equals to R55. Okay. Now P5 equals to R55 by 3. Now R55 is divisible by 3. R55 is divisible by 3. Any number divisible by 3 have some of the digits as divisible by 3. Right? Here, what are the possible values of R? R can have 2, R can have 5, R can have 8. Right? All these values are possible. But you will see only for R equals to 2, P5 a 2-digit number will come. Right? So here if I put R equals to 2, this becomes 255 by 3, which is nothing but 85, sorry. Let me erase this. Okay, so R equals to 2. This becomes 255 by 3. So this becomes 3 8s are 24, 85. So from here P equals to 8, U equals to 5, R equals to 2. This is the only possibility. They have asked you what is P plus R divided by Q. P plus R divided by Q is nothing but 8 plus 2 by 5, which is nothing but 2. So the answer for this question is 2. Okay, this is also a very good question. You should be very careful while attempting such questions in the exam. Again, by unit digit, we found out that Q is 5. There is only one possible value of R for which we will get R55 divided by 3 as a 2-digit number, because you can see P into P5 equals to R55 by 3. So when you divide R55 by 3, you should get a 2-digit number. As soon as you place 5 here, you will get a 3-digit number, which is not possible. So that's why only possible solution for P is 8, R is 2, Q is 5, and for that the ratio of P plus R by Q is nothing but 2. Okay, right? Chalo, let's move to the next part. In this page we have done the question number 62. Let's do 61. Can a democracy avoid being a welfare state for long? Why cannot mass welfare be left entirely to markets? The topic is, can we leave welfare to market? There is built-in tension between market and built-in tension between markets and democracy. Markets do not work on one person, one vote principally as democracies do. What one gets out of the marketplace depends on one's endowment, skills, purchasing power, and the forces of demand and supply. Right? Markets reward individual initiative and skill, and may be also lift many from the bottom rungs of poverty, but some people never get the opportunity to develop skills that markets demand. They are simply too poor and too handicapped, or skill formation takes too long. By creating jobs, markets may be able to help even unskilled people, but capitalism have always witnessed bursts of unemployment. You can understand that markets govern by profits and not by welfare. With reference to the following, which assumptions have been made? Modern democracy rely on the markets? No, there are points given to you why they don't rely on markets. Also, this is beyond the scope of the passage. Dependence is not discussed. Markets ensure sufficient economic growth necessary for sufficient economic growth होता तो jobs की दिक्कत ना आती. Government programs are needed for those left behind in economic growth, right? So 3 only. Easy, very, very easy question. If you see this question number 61, this is a very easy question. So we have done this. Now let's move to the next part. Here we have left question number 64. We have left question number 69. Okay. Now let me first solve question number 69. So there are 6 persons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 persons. Another person has to handshake with 3 of them, so that he should not handshake with 2 consecutive persons. Okay. So first case mein, what he is doing, handshake with this. One is left, then handshake. One is left, then handshake. What are other possibilities? He starts with first person, he handshakes with this. One is left, handshake, and then 2 are left, handshake. This is the second possibility. Third is handshake. Now 2 are left first. 1, 2. He handshake with this, and then last one. Now no possibilities left. Fourth one, he handshakes directly with the second person, then with the fourth person, and then with the sixth person. There are 4 possibilities in which he handshakes with 3 persons, and none of the 3 persons are consecutive. So there are 4 such options. So this is correct. This is PNC based basic counting, right? If you don't know how to do such questions, don't try to attempt these, because you will in most of the cases get to incorrect options. If you know how to tackle these questions, then only touch questions, right? And that clarity will come from practice only. Okay, now let's move to question number 64. On a chessboard, in how many different ways 6 consecutive squares be chosen on diagonals along a straight path? So what are the diagonals? There are 8 cubes on the diagonal. Similarly, from this side also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you have to take 6 consecutive cubes. So one can be this, another can be this, another can be this. How many? 3. Similarly, 3 on this side. So how many? 6. There can be 6 such cases where you can select 6 consecutive cubes along the diagonal. Okay, very easy question if you know how to solve these. Right? Let's move to the next. Here we have attempted 71. Let's try to attempt 72 and 73. Okay. Most people would agree that telling deliberate lies is wrong, except perhaps in certain special situations where more harm will be done by telling the truth. Okay. Basically, he's telling you that one should not lie, but sometimes it is essential to lie if the truth can harm more. Even the most truthful people who are supposed to be truthful, people probably tell a good many more lies. Those also tell good many more lies that might be regarded as semantic lies that use the words contain some measure of falsehood must more or less deliberately. People who are considered truthful also lie many times. The idea which the first part of the passage mentioned, agreement about telling lies, there is no agreement about telling lies. It is saying in some cases people lie because truth can harm you more. So this is wrong. Disagreement about telling lies? No, there is no disagreement. Sometimes you can do that. You can eliminate A and B. Disagreement about telling the truth? There is no disagreement about telling the truth. They are saying in some most of the people should tell truth, but in some cases lie is important. Disagreement about harm in telling the truth, right? Some people say you should always tell the truth, and some people are saying you can lie in some cases where truth can harm, right? So there is some disagreement about this. So option D is the correct answer. This is a good question. Okay, try it again after listening to the explanation. Try it again. Okay. 73. Which of the following habits is found more often in good people? Intentional mixing up of truth with the false, right? So following habit is found in most often in good people. Sometimes they intentionally mix false with the truth. Okay, done. So we have done up to 73rd. It's almost 9 p.m. Let's try to complete this now. In the last page, we have left question number 75, question number 76, and question number 78. Let's try to solve question number 77 first. X said to Y. There are two present ages. Let their present age be X and Y. X said to Y at the time of your birth. Y के birth के time. At the time of Y birth, Y's age was 0. X age was X minus Y. X age was X minus Y. At the time of your birth, I was twice as old as you are at present. मतलब X Y years ago was twice as Y today. That means X equals to 3Y. This is the first equation. If the present age of X is 42, X equals to 42. That means Y is equals to what? 14. Present age of X is 42. Present age of Y is 14. 8 years ago, X minus 8. X minus 8 is nothing but 34. Y minus 8. Y minus 8 is 6. 5 times है क्या? 6 5s are 30. 34. This is wrong. After 14 years, X plus 40. 14, sorry. X plus 14 is nothing but 56. Y plus 14. Y plus 14 is 28. Now 28 into 2 is 56. Twice hai? This is correct. 2 only. Basically, in age-based question, what you have to do is frame the equations very delicately. Listen read the information given in the passage very carefully, and then try to frame the equations, and you will get to the answer very easily. Now let's solve question number. Chalo, let's solve question number 75. This is LCM based. LCM. Whenever we need to find a common time or a common day, we find LCM. So basically, Joseph visits the club on the 5th day. Every 5th day, Harsh visits 24th, and this is 9th. So basically, 5 to the power 1, 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power 2. LCM. LCM is nothing but 2 to the power 3 into 3 to the power 2 into 5 to the power 1. So 8 into 9 into 5, 49, 360. So basically 360th day, they will meet together. How to calculate the day when we move ahead by 360? So what we need to do is find the remainder when 360 is divided by 7. This will give you the odd days. When you divide 360 by this, you will get 3 odd days. 3 odd days. So basically we have to move ahead by 3 days from, if all of them met on the club on Sunday, which day all will they meet again? So Sunday plus 3. Sunday plus 3. Sunday plus 3 is nothing but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the answer is Wednesday. They will meet again on Wednesday. Basically, you will find the instance from today to the next instance when they will meet again. That will be found out through LCM. Now, you need to find the remainder when 360 is divided by 7. The remainder will tell you how many days you have to move from the present day. Suppose today is Sunday and odd days is 3. So after 360 days, the day will be Sunday plus 3. Right? That is how I have solved this. Now the last question. Last question is 76. The difference between a 2-digit number and the number obtained by interchanging it is 54. Let the number be xy. The number interchanging is yx. That is nothing but 54. I can write this as 10x plus y minus 10y minus x equals to 54. On simplification, this is 9x minus 9y equals to 54. On further simplification, x minus y equals to 6. The difference between the digits is 6. Now let's see the statements. The sum of the 2 digits of the number can be determined only if the product of the 2 digits is given. Not necessarily. Suppose you give the value of x, the first digit. So you can find the value of y and then you can find the sum. This is not the only condition by which you can answer this question. The difference between the 2 digit of the number can be determined. We have already determined what is the difference between the 2 digits of the number x minus y, which is 6. So only 2. Right? So we have solved the paper. Basically 2021 paper was on the easier side. Right? Okay. If you have any doubt regarding reading comprehension, regarding maths, regarding reasoning, if you are solving questions, you are finding it difficult to solve questions, or you are not able to understand the solution, you can send me the solutions or the questions here. I'll try to help you, right? If you want a complete one-stop solution, you can opt for the batch, English batch, starting from 1st of December 2020. Right? Or else you can connect directly with me here in this Telegram channel and I will try to help you. Okay? I have tried to solve the 2021 paper as I will or you should in the paper, starting from the easy questions from all the sections, reasoning, quant and reading comprehension, and then we move to the difficult question. I have tried to solve all the questions in as much detail as possible, and considering that all those who will attempt the paper have already completed their preparation for CSAT and now trying to find where they stand. Still, if some solution is not clear, you can comment, you can ask your doubts, you can tell me to solve the questions again. I will try to solve those questions again in the next video if there is some problem, right? And you can share your feedback and tell me how I can help you more in the coming videos, if I should reduce my speed or I should increase my speed, right? Chalo, have a great week. We will meet next Sunday with the 2022 previous year paper. Until then, thank you very much. Take care. Shabba khair. Bye bye.